Hey everyone, welcome back to Things with Pings. Today we're diving deep into one of the most powerful tools in Java streams, the Collectors.toMap method. Now, you've probably used the simple version of toMap, but did you know there are multiple overloaded versions, including a 4-parameter version that solves some really tricky problems? Stick around, because by the end of this video you'll not only understand what these versions do, but also when and why you'd want to use the merge function that often confuses developers. Let's start from the basics. In Java streams, collect is a terminal operation. It reduces a stream into a collection, or sometimes even a single value. One of the most common collectors is Collectors.toMap. Simply put, toMap takes elements from a stream and turns them into a map. The simplest version looks like this. Here we give it two functions. keyMapper decides how to generate the map key. valueMapper decides how to generate the map value. So if we had a list of names, we could make a map where the key is the length of the name and the value is the name itself. Here we've created a list with the names Alice, Bob, and Charlie. Next, we convert this list into a stream and collect it into a map. For the key, also called the keyMapper, we're using the length of each name. And for the value, that's the valueMapper, we're simply using the name itself. Finally, we print the map to see the result. If you're confused about how we're getting the key and the value here, don't worry. The key is generated using a method reference, which simply takes each string and returns its length. For the value, we're using function identity. This is a static method that returns a function which always gives back its input argument unchanged. To make this clearer, let's rewrite it in the traditional Lambda style that you might find easier to understand. Now that you've seen the Lambda version, let's change it back. But here's the catch. What happens if two keys collide? For example, the names John and Mary both have length 4. The 2-parameter version of toMap throws an illegal state exception if a duplicate key appears. Now let's update our names list by adding John and Mary and run the code again. As you can see, just as we expected, it threw an illegal state exception. The error message clearly says, duplicate key 4, attempted merging values John and Mary. This happens because both names have the same length, which causes a collision when trying to use them as keys. This is where the merge function comes in. The 3-parameter version of toMap looks like this. The merge function is called when two values have the same key. In this case, instead of crashing, we combine them into a comma-separated string. Great, now we've reached a very exciting point, the merge function. But let's wrap up for now. In the next video, we'll start right from here and explore merge functions in detail. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll make sure to answer them and maybe even cover them in the next video. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Java tips and deep dives.